Hi, I'm Austin Hughes, and along with the other members of Group 12, we'll be explaining why American Guitar Inc. should go with a standard absorption costing system.
American Guitar Inc. manufactures different types of guitars. AGI uses a job order costing system and employs absorption costing. Absorption costing treats manufacturing costs as a product cost. The costs are part of inventory and later hit cost of goods sold. AGI has two support departments, the R&D design department and the maintenance department, and two manufacturing departments, the construction department and the finishing department. AGI uses the dual rate direct cost allocation method to allocate in-house design costs to jobs and maintenance costs to manufacturing departments. In the construction department, the wooden guitars are built by highly skilled craftsmen and coated with several layers of lacquer. Then, the units are transferred to the finishing department, where the bridge of the guitar is attached and the strings are installed. The guitars also are tuned and inspected in the finishing department. American Guitar estimates to have an annual practical capacity of 6,000 guitars, 1,500 units of professional models, and 4,500 units of beginner models. The budgeted sales for 2014 are 1,300 units professional models and 4,300 units of beginner models.
AGI uses absorption costing, which attaches fixed manufacturing overhead to their inventory. This causes their inventory value to be higher and their immediate expenses to be lower. Under absorption, net income is not lowered until the goods are sold, when the costs are then moved from the inventory account to the cost of goods sold account. They are delaying the expensing of inventory until it is ultimately sold. This can have a significant impact on your inventory value and as well as your recognition of profit. We saw that in American Guitar Incorporated, there was a net loss of roughly $38,000. Thus, a switch from absorption to variable costing would further that loss in net income, and it would not provide management the accurate and valuable information that they need to make decisions. We think that AGI should keep its absorption costing for its pricing products rather than switching to variable as well. Due to the nature of the manufacturing process and the differentiation of the products they produce, with both the beginner and advanced models requiring different materials and levels of skilled labor, expensing fixed manufacturing overhead through the use of variable systems would cause management to underprice one or even both of the products. However, using absorption costing, the fixed overhead attributed to each unit would be factored into the cost of that unit, thus allowing them to price the product appropriately.
We believe that AGI should adopt a standard absorption costing system rather than the actual absorption costing system in place. We think that a standard absorption costing system will allow management to better evaluate inefficiencies and identify areas that improvements can be made and costs can be lowered. American Guitar Inc.'s net loss is primarily attributed to high overhead costs. Use of a standard system would allow them to identify which of these costs have high variances and start the process of determining how to lower them. They will be able to determine variances between fixed manufacturing overhead and variable manufacturing overhead to designate problems within spending, efficiency, and production volume. Another factor that provides evidence that standard absorption would be more beneficial is that for January, AGI had a significant amount of underapplied overhead of roughly $13,000. Under a standard costing system, they could evaluate all inventoriable costs, direct and fixed. The variances should be recorded at the end of the period. Once you have the actual output numbers, then the variances could be recorded through journal entries that management could use to take corrective action and evaluate the method into further consideration. Standard costing allows for better. Once you have the actual output figures, then variances can be recorded through journal entries that management can use to take corrective action and evaluation methods into further consideration. Standard costing allows for better performance evaluation because costs are evaluated at costs that they can actually control.
In conclusion, we believe that American Guitar should adopt a standard variable absorption costing system. Their January performance indicates that the method of projecting overhead was inefficient due to the high amount of underapplied overhead. This had a negative impact on net income after the proration to cost of goods sold, and can be resolved by implementing a standard absorption costing system. The absorption costing systems will allow all inventory costs to be traced to products accurately, and in theory, reduce the amount of overhead variance in future periods. The use of standards will allow management the ability to use variances to make better decisions and faster decisions than if they had been using actual costing. Through the analysis of cost and efficiency variances, the management can better identify areas of need and lower the costs that they are held responsible for. Over time, with the use of a standard absorption costing system, this will allow management to correct its misallocation of overhead and allow net income to more accurately reflect the position of the company, rather than allowing inefficiencies to flow through to other accounts. With these changes, we believe that American Guitar Incorporated can more accurately track product costs and better price its products in future periods.
This concludes our analysis of the American Guitar List. We hope you have a better understanding of the current costing system in place and our recommendation on what the company should do to have a better costing system. Thank you.